This high protein, yeast free, cute little bread came to be because I make flaxseed gel, and I was trying to find a way to make use of the leftover, the byproduct, the flax seeds that I had left over after the gel. And it just happened, this recipe happened randomly because I used what I had on hand at the time, which was almond flour, chickpea flour, a little bit of olive oil, and some salt added to the flax seeds. And I came up with this, and I've been super happy with it. I really love the taste of it, and obviously it's full of omega-3 fatty acid because of the flax seeds. So the first thing I need to do for this recipe is make flaxseed gel. So I'm just going to go ahead and show that part. For the flaxseed gel, I have a quarter cup or 50 grams of flax seeds with 2 cups of water or 500 milliliters. So I'm going to bring this to a boil and let it simmer for about 10 minutes to get the gel. In the meantime, I'm going to preheat my oven to 180 degrees Celsius. I will put what it is in Fahrenheit because I can't remember on the top of my head like that. I work in Celsius. Anyway, so I'm gonna get my flaxseed gel going. This has now come up to a boil. Make sure that you stir it as it come up to a boil because the flaxseed can stuck to the pan. So I'm gonna turn the heat down and let it simmer for about 8 to 10 minutes until it becomes like a gel-like consistency. My flaxseed gel is now ready. You can see how the consistency has changed. So I'm gonna turn this off. And you want to strain this the gel straight away while it's hot because it thickens quite fast, and the longer you wait, the harder it is to actually strain it. So I'm going to pour this through my colander. I found that this colander is perfect for this and just help you can see the beautiful liquid. And it looks still a little bit liquidy, but as I said, it will thicken up as it cools down. You can even see in the pan right now the consistency of it. So cool. Okay, and that's about enough for me. Like this is a cup in there, so 250 milliliter. And I want to keep a little bit of the gel for the bread. So I'm going to transfer this back into my pan. And you can see here, this is so cool. Nature is so cool. Anyway, so this is transferred. And I am going to put this in a blender to grind the flax seeds. My flax seeds are now nice and grinded. You really want to have a ground flaxseed as opposed to a whole flaxseed because it's better for the absorption of the nutrients. And I'm going to transfer my gel into my jar. If you don't use this gel for your hair, if you're not aware that you can do that, or for your skin, then you could also, you can see how luscious is this. You could also just use this as an egg replacement if you are a vegan, right? That would work beautifully, as you can see, because this is exactly how it's going to work for the bread. This is what's going to keep all the ingredients together, bind them together. So I'm going to let this cool to the side. And I am going to mix all my ingredients directly into my pan. So it's a high protein, but also obviously high in omega-3 fatty acid, right? With the flax seeds and also with the almond flour, loaded with good stuff. And for this amount of flaxseed, I am using 1 cup of organic almond powder, which is about 250 grams. There. The same amount of chickpea flour. So it's very, as you can see, it's a very easy, straightforward recipe. Definitely up my street. Nice and easy. I'm also adding a pinch of salt for taste. And I'm just going to mix this together first using a fork. And what I didn't mention is I'm also adding some olive oil just to taste, and also it's nice to have a little bit of fat, and it gives it nice texture, an added texture actually with the almond flour. And now at this point, I'm just going to go in with my hands. And if I didn't mention it, it's better to make the bread like straight away when everything is warm. I've done it the next day and it still works, but I think it's a lot easier to just work the ingredients and the dough together when it's done like in the same at the same time as you're making the gel or uh, egg replacement, whatever you want to use the flaxseed gel for. But like I say, it's really good for the hair and also good for the skin. Um, I'm sure there's other use for it that I'm not aware of. You can feel free to let me know if you use flaxseed gels for other things. And you can see how everything just comes together so easily. And that's it. Just going to shape it into, I mean, you can shape it in whichever form that you want to shape it in. It makes for a very small bread, as you can see, right? It stays in my hands. You could obviously double or triple the amounts, or also completely bypass the flaxseed gel. Just use, just make the gel and just use the gel. But then obviously you would have to put quite a bit of um, added flour and all that. So here we are, nice and shaped. And I also like to go in with a knife. You know, it's not necessary because it's not going to rise, obviously, but just for the shape of it, you know. And I'm going to put this in the oven for 30 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. I baked my bread for 35 minutes, more or less, at 180 degrees Celsius. And I find that for me, it is the right time to get the texture that I am looking for, that I like, that it is a little bit more soft. I've tried with other time and temperatures. I've done before 30 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius, followed by a little bit longer at 150 degrees. Um, and it works fine. I just find that it's a little bit more crunchy than what I like because it will obviously harden a little bit more when it cools down. So I find that 30 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius gets me to the right texture. It keeps a little bit of its softness. Obviously, you can, you know, experiment and leave it a little bit longer if you wish to get a little bit more of a golden um, glow on your bread, so to speak. So I'm just going to cut it so that you can see on the inside. So you can see it comes out as a dense bread, almost like one of those, I think it's German, the German rye bread when they had a lot of seeds in them and like a brown, a dark brown. So it's a bit of a similar texture. Um, I really enjoy it myself, and yeah, I just thought I would share this recipe. And as I mentioned before, you can use the flaxseed gel either for your skin or your hair, like I do for myself. I highly recommend it, especially if you have split ends and dry hair. But you could also use the flaxseed gel as an egg substitute. I think I said before. So there you have it, flaxseed bread. I enjoy still sourdough bread as well, but I think it's a nice substitute when I don't want to have so much gluten or something different with no yeast. And yes, I have it every so often. Well, every time I make flaxseed gel, basically.